Please state your name and how long you've been at Peace Church.
Linda Goese.
And I'm Dick Goese.
And let's say it together. 48
8 years, yeah.
That's a long time, Dick.
Yeah. We moved here in 1974, started a search for churches right off the bat.
I was pregnant, so we knew, and we both had been raised in churches, and we knew with the child coming, we hadn't been going to churches as a couple for, like many couples throughout the year are too busy to go to church. But anyway, I was pregnant, so it was just a good time to really come to the community and look around.
So we visited one church which was populated by nice little old ladies with white gloves and no children, and we decided that wasn't for us.
And I didn't have any white gloves, so I was not going to go on my white gloves.
So we came to Peace Church. It was our second visit. I grew up in the UCC, so I was very, very happy, comfortable. And of course, we were met by St. Trudy Short, who made anybody and everybody feel welcome, like she made you feel like you owned the place the first time you walked in the door. But so we were really impressed, and we decided we wouldn't need to continue the search, so that we went to talk to Greg Flint, who was a minister at that time.
Flint. And he was nervous. I remember him. I thought we were going to be nervous, but he was a little nervous.
Really?
I mean, I think, well, at that point, the church was not a thriving church at all. It was, down to about 30, 40 people on a Sunday. And the rumor was, as we found out later on, that there was one member of the congregation that was paying Greg's salary. So it was this young whippersnapper. He had a lot of work to do.
Well, and he actually, I wouldn't go so far as to say he tried to talk us out of joining, but he sure made darn sure that that's really what we wanted to do, because he told us about the financial situation, and it just sort of asked, do you really want to get involved with that? And we said, yeah, that didn't bother us. And we just bought a big, huge house. We were in a hole. Why not, go a little bit further? No, it was the Arab oil embargo time, and, who cared? So anyway, there we were, and here we are.
And I think at one point, I don't know if we said this to Greg or just to ourselves, when somebody had approached Dick at the doctor's dining area about joining a certain church. And he said about this church, you may want to come to our church and check it out because you'll be very comfortable there. Well, what did you say, Dick?
We don't want to go to a church that makes us comfortable.
Yeah.
That didn't seem like the right criteria. So we didn't bother going there either.
Yeah. And there have been, for me, moments of great comfort here and great uncomfortableness. And I think for my faith journey, that's just been good for me, to not always have a comfortable feeling when you're at church. Uncomfortable propels you in different directions that you never thought you were going to go.
And I don't think we've ever regretted the decision to become part of Peace. I think over the years we've been involved at a lot of levels. I was moderator a couple times. I was treasurer for a decade, I think, and just active in terms of just being here a lot.
And same for me. I was on church council, Sunday school teacher, this committee and that committee. I think Dick and I, as far as being members, have been faithful members. There have been some times that were maybe a little rockier than I was comfortable with, but I think through our faith, or particularly me, through my faith, we managed to stay with the church, and that's been a good thing for us, for me.
I think, I feel that if I were to pick one word to describe this congregation, I would say caring. I'm always impressed by how fast the sign-up list is to provide the meals for Chum, to provide the meals for congregation members, to help take care of Jan at this point in time, Jan Eschbach. The list fills up quick, and that always impresses me.
And I like that choice of word. I would also go with with joy. It's done with joy, and it's done with understanding the call that we have as Christians to do that work. So that combination has always worked very well for me, the spiritual part of it and the stewardship, because I don't think you can do one without the other. And so that has been my journey here very much.
What would you say your involvement in Peace Church has meant to you and others?
It pushed me into our Duluth community more than I would have done on my own, I think, without having been at this church. I've always been interested in volunteering in the community, and we encouraged our children to do that all the way around. But I think being at Peace Church made that easier for me, because Chum was frequently spoken of in the pulpit, in our committees. And when I got hooked into Chum, I just kind of, it all kind of meshed for me, my spirituality and my service. And I've been involved in other things in the community, volunteer, but that's always been where my heart is with the Chum, because I think they do being a faith-based organization was very important.
I think that's part of the caring thing that warms my heart about this place. It just gets carried over into other organizations that have the same goal in mind, and Chum being probably the biggest one.
Yeah. I think we did drag our kids to a lot of things in the community. But it was the philosophy in our parenting too, was, you're part of this community and this is what is expected of you as you mature. And I think that is showing up as they get almost 50. We have a daughter almost 50. How can that be? But it is true.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I have a funny story. This was years ago. I was on the Christian Education Committee, and Sunday school teacher too, and Jan was our Christian Education Director. And it was the Christmas pageant. And so Jan came up to me and she said, "Do you mind if so-and-so sits by you? He was supposed to be in the pageant, but he's not going to be in the pageant." And I said, "Sure, he can sit beside me." So this cute little, I guess, third grader sat beside me. He said, "You know why I'm not in the Christmas pageant, don't you?" And I said, "No, I don't." And he said, "Well, last week during children's time, I told a joke about pigs, and Kathy did not think it was funny." So I am not allowed to be in the pageant. It was wonderful. I love teaching those kids, but I couldn't wait to get home and tell Dick, "You got to hear this one. This is a good one."
Whatever reminds me of your involvement with Chum Church too.
Yeah.
Most of you don't, probably many of you don't know about Chum Church, but it's changed a bit now. But for years it was a monthly gathering with both a Sunday school class and then a worship service for mentally developmentally slow folk. I'm not sure I picked the right words.
Right.
Is that close enough?
Yeah.
I could get into trouble. Okay. But anyway, that was the source of a lot of stories too. But one of my favorite things about Chum Church was their Christmas pageant. If they still do it, and you ever have a chance, it's worth it going to the Chum Church Christmas pageant. No more meaningful words uttered, read, or actions carried out. I get teary-eyed every time that rolls around. Beautiful.
Yeah, and we did as a family pick up 5 members. There was a group home in Lakeside, so we would pick them up every Sunday, remember?
I do.
And bring them to church. We had this Subaru, so there we just all piled in that Subaru and came up. And then one time, when Greg tell the story about when Greg told the congregation he was leaving, and Ted.
Yeah, Greg announced one Sunday morning that he was going to leave, and Ted was one of the gentlemen that we picked up regularly. And I wasn't sure that he understood, and those guys put me in my place so many times. But I asked Ted when we got in the car, I said, did you catch the fact that Greg was going to leave. And he gave me this withering look, and he said, "Of course, I got my ears on."